810 Wacky Stories, take one. From Iowa City, it's time for another edition of Wacky Stories. That's right, outrageous and exciting wacky stories where we take a wacky look at this wacky world. Is this music too loud again? There we go. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Your hosts for Wacky Stories are John Tomaskovic
and Marty Kevin.
We almost got that one in there just at the right time, but
we'll work on it, John.
Music went a little too long. I'm gonna have to think of a couple more sentences for that. I don't know. Anyway, we've got a new source this time. Had to switch the sources. I couldn't find anything good out of Weekly World News. That's what we've been using lately. But this week's one was a real. It was too outrageous. There was nothing at all out of that one that I could find. So we made a switch to
a better source.
What's this one? The Examiner. See, that's the thing I like about Weekly World News, though. Things like the Inquirer, things like that. They like to tell you a lot about what the soap opera stars are doing, things like that, what TV stars are doing. Weekly World News gives you ordinary people like you and me.
Yeah.
And what are some good examples of those ones that we've had in the last few weeks? Anyway, here's Marty with story number one.
Mysterious force takes over and averts disaster. A loving spirit stopped me from becoming a mass killer. It was 1917 and I was just 16, but I had been driving my father's snazzy Oakland 6 for a year. I had a certain driving skill, but no common sense and as much judgment as a grasshopper. It was late at night and I was driving on this 2-lane crooked road through the canyons in Southern California. I was cutting corners as I did often, which is some of that common sense right there.
There you go.
Taking chances that now make me ill to think about. Driving at high speeds in the left lane and going downgrade, I suddenly felt the steering going out of my control. More common sense, of course.
There you go.
Coming into play. An unseen force of tremendous power grabbed the wheel and whipped the car into the right-hand lane. A split second later, the lights of an oncoming car in the opposite direction hit me in the eyes. As it shot past me, I could see it had several people in it. I stopped my car and went limp. Had it not been for this ghostly unseen force, there would have been a head-on collision, and no doubt several people would have been killed or maimed because of my recklessness. I truly believe that we all have spirit helpers who are constantly protecting and helping us, and there is not a day that goes by that I don't thank my spirit helper for what he did then and since.
Kind of
touching.
Kind of like the invisible shield he's got around him, huh? Like using a good deodorant or something like that.
I think it was God. I don't know. God works in mysterious ways.
Well, he didn't say it, so I won't either. Okay, story number 2. Electric wife kills hubby with love hug. Otto Grunhut, something like that, died because he couldn't keep his hands off his wife Helga. Otto, 42, surprised her one day by giving her a hug after he had just stepped out of the bath and suffered a massive electric shock. The distraught wife enlisted the help of a neighbor and rushed her unconscious husband straight to the local hospital. Otto was dead by the time they reached the emergency room. She's a walking death trap, a woman in 10 million, said a hospital spokesman in Cologne, Germany. One sweep of her arm and she could wipe out a room full of people. So she didn't go to too many conventions, I'd imagine.
Don't think I'd like to meet her.
No. Mrs. Grunhut's problem is static electricity. Everybody has it, but she could have up to 1,000 times the usual amount. Baffled doctors are uncertain as to what caused the massive buildup of static electricity, but they believe it may very well have something to do with diet. Now listen to this diet.
Diet?
This is good. Said Dr. von Koenig, Mrs. Grunhut, or Grunhut or whatever, Grunt we'll call her.
Grunt. There we go.
has devoured mounds of cream cakes and drunk barrels of beer all her life, and at this stage...
That will do it. That will do it if anything else.
That'd give you
Not anything
massive
else.
stomach aches. And at this stage, we can only conclude that in some mysterious way, this has brought about her amazing condition. A Cologne police spokesman said no criminal charges are going to be brought in this case. We know the death was a tragic accident and believe the poor woman has suffered enough. And isn't that just terrible? Wait, what about the poor... Whoa, I just lost my...
She could have murdered her
What
husband.
about the poor guy?
Yeah, she could have murdered. It could have been a murderous plot by her to collect what insurance, life insurance or something off him.
Well,
and then she blames it on what, the beer and
the
cream pies, cream cakes.
I'll tell you, Marty. I haven't been too resourceful lately on this show. I'll admit it. I haven't been following up on some of the things, but hey, we got a tape of the final words from this poor husband. We managed to get a hold of him. The Wacky Stories news crew. We've got correspondents all over the world, and this is what he had to say.
I bet it was shocking, wasn't it?
This is what he had to say just before he died. So you kind of get the picture there.
Diagrams it out fairly well, I'd say.
You don't have to say any more than that, so we won't. That's going to do it for another edition of Outrageous and Exciting Wacky Stories. Keep listening, because at 8:40 we'll have more wacky stories. Until then, this is John.
And Marty.
Saying may your news be wacky news. 8:40 Wacky Stories. Take one. The lucky listener gets another shot here at Wacky Stories from Iowa City. Time again for another edition of Wacky Stories. Second one for this morning. That's right, outrageous and exciting Wacky Stories, where we take a wacky look at this wacky world. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Your hosts for Wacky Stories are John Tomaskovic
and Marty Kavanaugh.
Oh, we hit that one perfect. We're getting better here. We're getting professional. I don't know. Gonna have to ask for a raise or something. Okay, story number one for the 8:40 Wacky Stories. Lovesick girl makes 75-year-old professor's life a misery. She runs naked around his garden. This is about a 75-year-old professor and his passionate pupil in his class, 13-year-old Pia Carmenita. The frail white-haired professor of music is being besieged by the beautiful young temptress, both in his classroom and at home.
And he's miserable, huh?
He's an old man. And try as he might, Dr. Pietro Gentini can do nothing to shake her. Boy, I love these names. Pia, a child prodigy, fell for the distinguished professor when she joined his classes at the musical conservatory where he teaches near Sorrento, Italy. She told him in her first week at her new school that she was madly in love with him, but instead of responding as she thought he might, he told her parents. You know, that probably crushed her. I mean, she's
broke her heart, huh?
Pretty straightforward to tell the teacher she's in love with him the first week.
She just wants a good grade.
I knew I wanted him the moment I saw him. I'm determined to have him, and I'll get him in the end. Nothing on earth is going to stop me.
What motivation.
Pia was recently arrested after police found her standing naked in the professor's garden, shouting, "Look at me. Why don't you want me? What's wrong with me?" Fellow students report
Too
that...
aggressive.
Professor likes the laid-back kind of attitude. Fellow students report that among antics the girl resorted to in class was clutching and hugging the professor as he passed, blowing him kisses, and leaving him love notes on the blackboard. So she's wasting no time. She's going for it. She sees her chance. She's taking it.
Now, I've heard about those Italian women. You gotta be careful with them.
Yeah, but I heard something about Italian men, too, and apparently it's not true, according to this guy. But
yeah.
He's pretty old. I don't know. Here's Marty with
Story number
a
2.
little wildlife story.
Hapless household pets are being devoured by voracious flesh-eating plants, say experts. R.G. Thorne and G.L. Barron, they don't have first names. Plant experts at...
What are we going to name our son? I think we'll name him GL. That's good.
We'll give the plant initials too.
Name him after
on.
a car, GL or whatever. I don't know.
Plant experts at the University of Guelph in Canada report that about 450 species of flowering plants and trees obtain a large part of their nutritional need for nitrogen by capturing and digesting small animals. People don't know that the beautiful Nephrasia is deadly. We're going to call that plant the NR, because I don't think I feel like mentioning it throughout the story. The giant variety of the plant actually eats small monkeys in its native environment of Borneo and is capable of ingesting infants as well. I'd like to see an experiment. How do they know?
Yeah,
They'd
really.
probably... I don't want to go into that either.
Yeah.
Mrs.
Too gross for this early in the morning.
Okay, here's another experiment done with the plant. Mrs. Curvacher recalls speaking with the spirit of a cat that was eaten by NR that her master had brought into the house only a week earlier. Naturally, I was curious about this new plant. The cat's spirit told Mrs. Curvacher.
Wait a minute, what?
This is a cat's spirit. This lady is talking to the cat's spirit.
Good.
And this is what the cat had to say.
Good.
Naturally, I was curious about this new plant. I sniffed it and pawed at it and then took a look inside. That was my mistake. I slipped and fell inside because the rim at the top of the plant was quite slippery with nectar and there were tiny hairs pointing downward. It was like sledding. I couldn't stop. How would a cat know what sledding's like? That's what I want to know. The inside was covered with sticky, wax-like substance that made it impossible for me to leap out. It's still painful to think about what happened next. I was literally eaten alive by acids and digestive juices secreted at the base of the plant. It took me hours to die. I wouldn't wish that kind of pain on anyone, not even a dumb dog.
Pretty smart cat.
Concluded the cat spirit, yeah. I've met at least 200 spirits that met their end this way. Everything from a gerbil to a Jack Russell Terrier.
Smart cat, what can you say?
I've always wanted to know what a cat had to say.
Now you know.
That's right.
That's going to do it for another edition of Outrageous and Exciting Wacky Stories. Tune in again next Friday morning at 8:10 and 8:40 for more wacky stories. And until then, this is John Tomaskovic
And Marty Kavanaugh
saying may your news be wacky news.